ladies and gentlemen. He's an actor, he's a model, he is a fitness freak, and above all, a great human being. It's my honor to welcome Mr. Milind Soman. Welcome in.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for gracing us, please.
Thank you.
You may take your throne.
Thank you so much.
So this is not your first time in Nepal.
That's right.
This is your fourth time in Nepal.
It is. I don't remember the third time, but I remember the first time very, very clearly. It was in 1984. I participated in the first South Asian Federation Games, which was in Kathmandu.
Wow.
And I represented India in swimming, and I won a silver medal.
Ever thought that you would come back to Kathmandu with a cause that is so huge, which is so meaningful, and which is so important?
Well, I don't really think a lot about the future. I just make sure I do the right things in the present. So, of course, I didn't think much about it at all, in fact. But I started this event, this program, or this movement, as I would like to think of it, in 2012 in Bombay. And it was the first multi-city women's running event, because we thought of it as taking it to other cities as well. Because, you know, when we talk about a cause, or we talk about a message or a communication, and we do it only on one day or in 1 month, as you were mentioning. Breast Cancer Awareness Month is actually October. Personally, I think that we need to talk about issues like this all the time, across the year and across the country, and of course across the world. So Pinkathon was designed as a multi-city women's running event. So we did the first one in Mumbai in 2012, then we took it to 4 cities in 2013, 6 cities in 2014, and in 2015 to 8 cities. This year we'll be taking it to 16 cities across India. And the only reason we've been able to do this is because the response has been so fantastic. And we've come here to Kathmandu because Namraj Joshi found me somehow in Bombay, and he said, you know, we really want to take this event and this opportunity to Nepal. Because, I mean, it's not just in India that women have issues with health. It's globally, actually.
It's globally,
and the reason for that is that as a society, globally, we encourage women to neglect their health. We encourage women to believe that their place is in the home, taking care of the children and the families and all of that. And we encourage them to just not think about themselves.
Well, it's not in our culture, to be very honest. You know, to exercise, taking care of yourself, maintaining a good body at the same time.
It isn't, but I'll tell you, even in the UK, there was a report that came out a couple of years ago where the question was, why do British women not exercise?
And what was the result?
One of the top reasons was guilt.
Guilt?
Yes. Guilt, taking time away from the family. And it's really sad because the people who perpetuate this guilt the most are other women, who then point a finger at a woman who goes out of the home and is active, saying that she's neglecting her family. Those are things that we need to change, and that's a social thing.
So these are reasons basically that centers around how a society is formed and how it actually runs. Now tell me this, Milind, what is the inspiration? What was the inspiration behind this movement, Pinkathon?
Well, I've always been interested in my own health. You know, as I mentioned, I represented India in swimming. I started swimming at the national level in India at the age of 9. And since then, it was a journey of exploration for me. Who I am, what does my body mean, my mind, my emotions, all of it. As a sports person, you really learn about all those things, and it becomes part of you. And when I started running long distance, which was about 14 years ago, at the age of 38, when I say long distance, I mean the half marathon.
You also happen to be a barefoot runner.
I run barefoot, yes.
Wow.
I ran barefoot today on the streets of Kathmandu.
On the streets of Kathmandu to the studio.
Beautiful streets. And I noticed that even though running was becoming really popular in these last 14 years across India, even though, as you said, that there's no culture of fitness, no culture of exercise or sport, running was really picking up. And almost every city, every town, every organization, every Rotary club, college, school, politician was creating a running event. The participation of women was very, very low. In fact, less than 10%. So I thought that, you know, if we create a space which is only for women, we'll see what kind of response there is. And a lot of people told me that women will not come, you know, that they're not interested in sport, they're not interested in running, they have no time, they're too busy, all of those things. But I said, okay, let's create the space and we'll see. Even if 50 women come, they in turn will inspire other women to start, to take that first step. So we were surprised that about 2,000 women participated in Mumbai in the first year. In the third year in Mumbai, 10,000 women participated. Last year across 8 cities, we had 70,000 women who participated. So the thing is that everybody, man, woman, whatever, they understand that this is important. We must begin to take care of our health. If we don't take care of our health is going to slip away. That is the natural law. So women also know this, and most of them may feel that no, I can't, because as we mentioned, as a society we encourage them to feel that, you know, you shouldn't be doing these kind of things. But a lot of women said, no, we need to take this step, we need to take control of our health, we will go out and participate in the Pinkathon, whether it's running or walking or just going there and doing Zumba, we'll go there and celebrate our health. And in turn, they have just been inspiring thousands and thousands of other women to do the same. And not only other women, other families. Because when the woman actually decides that she wants to do something like this, she creates a healthier environment within the home. The children are brought up in an environment that values health. And that is even more important when we're looking at the future of the country and the future of the nation's health.
So breast cancer awareness and Pinkathon.
Yes.
How did the success of this turn out? Did it take a long time?
It didn't. Like, this is the 4th year, like I mentioned. And we feel
It's
that it's been
already
many
so
years.
huge.
Yes, people think that it's been going on for 10 years or 15 years. And when I tell them this is the 4th year, they're shocked. And the reason we chose to talk about breast cancer is also a cultural thing. When I first suggested this idea, that we're talking about women's health. Nobody understands what it means when you say health. When we talk about health, we invariably talk about hospitals. But hospitals actually have nothing to do with health. They treat disease.
They just treat.
Health is in our hands. Every individual is responsible for their own health, and they can take charge of their own health. So people wouldn't understand that. So we said, okay, now let's talk about a disease, and then from there come to how to prevent that disease. And that is the meaning of taking care of your health. Imagine. So we took breast cancer as the first cause to talk about because it's cancer, which is a very scary subject, but it's one of the curable cancers. And what does that mean? Is if you catch it in the early stages, it can be curable. If you leave it, which means neglect it, which is what women do, if they're sick or they see something is wrong, they say, oh, no, it'll get better. We don't need to, I don't need to go to a doctor. I don't need to get a checkup. I'll just drink some little homemade medicine and it'll be fine.
Right.
But the danger is that if you neglect it, it's going to spread, and you catch it in a later stage, it's the end, right? So we said, just be aware of your body, be aware of your mind, be aware of the stresses, be aware of your emotions. Take out time for yourself, a little bit of time during the day for a sport. And why sport is important for women is because women are active in any case. We talk about active lifestyle, you know, to maintain your health. Women are always active, you know, most women. Taking care of people all the time, taking care of their kids, taking care of their families.
It's the nature of a woman.
It is the nature of a woman.
Then they forget themselves at the end.
They forget themselves. They also have their own businesses, they have their own jobs, they have their own careers, but still they don't take care of themselves. So we said, take out a little bit of time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes in a day, and do some sport. Run, walk, yoga, cycle, anything, me time. Take out some me time. That is important. What happens then is you notice changes within your body, physical changes, mental changes, sleeplessness, lack of digestion, anything that could become a symptom of something deeper. And when you notice that, then you can pay attention to it and maybe then go and get a checkup, because this is interfering with my lifestyle of sport and exercise and so on. I need to get a checkup from a professional to make sure I can continue, you know, what I've been doing. And that really has impacted thousands and thousands of women across India so far. We have hundreds and hundreds of blogs that come out of Pinkathon saying how it has changed our lives.
So they're supporting a cause at the same time taking care of themselves. So they're actually practicing and living the entire campaign.
It is.
And spreading it.
In fact, our first tagline for the Pinkathon, because you see most marathons across the world address issues like this. All of them are focused on various causes. It could be malnutrition in Africa, it could be breast cancer, it could be any kind of issues that society is facing. But our tagline was, the cause is you. Don't think you're running for some poor person somewhere else or for some lady who can't afford something. You are the first cause. If you take care of your health and your family follows you and takes care of their health, we are going towards a fitter society. We are going to eradicate disease. But you are the first person who is going to make this happen.
Now tell me this, it's very popular now. Pinkathon
Yes.
has become huge, and
Yes.
you're taking it to a lot of cities. Every year you're adding more cities to it.
Yes.
But overall, if you look at the Indian society, and India overall is a huge country, there are equally number of big villages as much as cities, right?
Yeah.
Do you think the message that you're trying to put across is getting to all these places in the rest of the part of India?
Not overnight. But eventually, yes. As I mentioned, each woman who participates and each woman who makes a difference to her own life inspires everyone around her by example. So eventually this will percolate, this message, this communication, this lifestyle idea will percolate to all levels of society. And what happened is this very same question when we started. So we were in all the big cities, right? We're in Delhi, we're in Bombay, we're in Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad. And at every place, the press would ask me, so you're also on television, would ask
the
me,
nature of the
what
press.
about the smaller towns? So I would say, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Amravati. I say, okay, go and do it in Amravati. Why should I do it? I'm doing as much as I can. If you feel something should be done, as a citizen of this country, go and do it yourself. But of course, I thought about it and I said, there must be a way where we can really, streamline this thing and spearhead it so that it goes into other towns. And what we started was an ambassador program. So ambassadors are people who really believe in women's health and that women should be made aware that this is something that's good for them and take it up. And they promote it throughout the year. So if we have about 400 ambassadors across the country. In every city that we do the Pinkathon, we have about 50 or 60 ambassadors. And throughout the year, they only talk about this communication, this message, that every woman must take out some time for herself. Then what happened is some of the ambassadors came back and said, I'm from, so Hyderabad, the ambassador said, I'm actually from Visakhapatnam. Can I do this event in Visakhapatnam? I said, yes, do it in Visakhapatnam. We will guide you, we will help you, we will make sure that you make the event a success, which means that we'll have the maximum number of women in Visakhapatnam running, and they will have a great experience, and they will take up fitter practices as they go ahead. So we did Visakhapatnam. Then we did, 8 cities of Pinkathon, which are the main Pinkathon cities where 10,000 women participate per Pinkathon. And then the smaller towns which started only this year. So 6 of them in the first year itself. And it was through that initiative, through the ambassadors, that Kathmandu came up. And Namraj came to me and said, you're taking it to all these cities, why can't we have it in Kathmandu?
And this is the
And I
first
said,
time
"Of
that it has
course."
come out of India
Exactly.
internationally.
Absolutely.
Now I want to add a little bit of taboo in it. Women's health is rarely spoken about because
Yes.
women feel uncomfortable themselves to
Yes.
share about what's happening with their body. There are a lot of barriers in the family, in the society itself. Has it helped in some way, or maybe a larger way, to actually break that taboo in the society, Indian society?
The only way to break taboos is to discuss them and talk about
Not
it. As
just,
you said,
not
people
just
don't talk
breast
about
cancer, but perhaps
No,
it has
it could
motivated
be-
them
yes,
to
it could
talk
be-
about their
I
own
mean-
issues.
I mean, periods. People don't want to talk about periods. And we say, you must talk about it. Sanitation, whether to use sanitary napkins or not, whether to use tampons, whether to use she cups. I mean, I am not embarrassed by it, and nobody should be. These are natural functions, and if we don't talk about it, then they will develop into larger issues which we will not be able to control. So that transparency, that communication, that awareness must be there at every level, and at no point should we feel embarrassed. In fact, even breast cancer became so big because women were reluctant to use the word breast. In fact, even on television today, I don't know how it is in Nepal, when I say breast, they will remove that word. On television in India. And I said, how are we going to make any progress if people and even the authorities will say, we cannot hear this word?
So that was the big challenge for you to
It
put
is.
it across.
It
I
is.
mean, you have
So
people.
we go and talk about it. We go into a restaurant and say breast, 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 breast. And then we say, okay, it's okay to say it. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to talk about your periods. It's absolutely fine. All these issues can be solved with all these diseases, that if we talk about them. HIV, people were so reluctant to talk about HIV till celebrities got involved, Richard Gere, Parmeshwar Godrej in India, and they started really just talking about AIDS and HIV and what does it mean? Is it a communicable disease? No. How do you help people who have it? How can it be avoided? How can it be prevented? And now we are seeing a lot of headway. when it comes to HIV. And it's become manageable, and people come out and they get cured, or I don't know if it's really cured. So many people say we're cured, but we still don't know.
Right.
But so much progress has been achieved through talking about it.
Through communication.
Absolutely, through awareness.
Beautiful. We are in conversation with Milind right here. Time now for a short commercial break, but stay with us. We still have a lot to go. See you on the other side of the commercial. Yes, welcome back to HUAWEI Namaste TV Show. An exciting episode ongoing at the moment on your screens right now. Now tell me this, you're interested in fitness. It has always attracted you, and you have a very good body. Is that how modeling happened? As an accident? Was it an accident?
Modeling
was it a passion?
was actually, yes, an accident. At that time, which I'm talking about 1987, so the late 80s, the fashion industry, the modeling industry, advertising, it was not so big as it is today. Today it's huge. So even at that time, I didn't know that modeling, for example, was a profession. I mean, I had not thought about it. We'd seen hoardings, and I'd seen, say, Kabir Bedi or Jackie Shroff, who I'm sure you know, on those hoardings. But you never think that, okay, they must have got paid for this, or there's a contract, or you know what it is. You just see it, okay, fine. So one day I just got I met someone, and they said, we want to shoot some pictures of you. And I said, because I was really good looking then. And they said, we want to shoot some pictures of you. And I said, what for? So they said, we want to just, use the pictures on this hoarding. And I said, really? I mean, why would I do that? They said, we'll pay you. I said, oh, okay, that's interesting. And how much will you pay? So they said, how much do you want? It was like that.
Oh, it gets even more interesting.
Okay, so have you done this before? They said, yeah, we do it all the time. It's called advertising. And I said, okay, so how much did you pay the last guy? So they said, we paid him 35,000 rupees. So I said, what? And like in 1987, that was a huge amount of money for doing nothing. 35,000 rupees? And then I said, okay, pay me 50,000.
Oh, wow.
For me, it was a joke. They said, okay, we'll pay you 50,000 rupees. And I did a shoot. It took 2 hours, and they gave me 50,000 rupees. When I went home, my parents were like, are you sure? What did you do? Are you telling the truth? Did you take pictures? Who gave you this money? And that's how it started. So it just took off after that. Mostly with fashion rather than advertising. The first shoot I did was for this designer by the name of Rohit Bal. And he's my age. So I'm 51 now, he might be 52. And he was doing his first menswear collection, and he was looking for a face for that. And I met him just by chance through a friend of mine who was a swimmer, who used to swim with me and wanted to be a model. And he took me to meet Rohit Bal and Rohit Khosla and Tarun Tahiliani and all these who are now big daddies of Indian fashion. But they were all young boys, in the mid-20s then. And they said, oh, wonderful, let's shoot this guy. It'll be amazing. So I did that shoot. It was okay. I was quite nervous. I didn't know what they were up to, and they were all crazy people. I mean, they're still crazy people. So to me, it was also very exciting to meet these crazy people. I had been a swimmer. I was studying engineering. My family background is completely academic. All 4 grandparents were doctors. My father's a scientist. My mother teaches biochemistry. I'd never met anybody like this.
How had you visioned your life? I mean, it happened as an accident. But then, through your personal interests and inclination, what did you think that perhaps, this is the career I would pick?
I always wanted to be a zookeeper.
A zookeeper? That is interesting.
So now I don't, because I prefer animals to be in the wild. But at that time, I had a lot of pets, and I was crazy about them. And my whole life was actually swimming. In fact, I had a job in the Indian Railways for some time, and I was representing Indian Railways. But I had never really given it a thought. I was studying engineering, because at that time, there was very little option. You either did engineering, medicine, law, or chartered accountancy.
The prestigious careers that the society presented.
That was it. So there was nothing else to do. So a lot of my friends went for engineering, and I had the marks for it. I went. But I was not interested in it at all. So I was looking for other things to do. This came up. I had completed my engineering by then, but I started traveling for fashion and did shows all over the world. I did a fashion show in Kathmandu in 1991 as well. That was the second time I came to Kathmandu.
Third time you still don't remember?
Third time I don't remember. It was some kind of event that I came for, so just a day. So every time I came, it was only for like 2 or 3 days. I didn't really get to see much. I went to the Pashupatinath temple, of course. So today I went as well, and it was the second time. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I love it. But I've not really seen much of Nepal. I'd love to. But that was how it started. You know, I was just exposed to this new world, which was very exciting. It wasn't so much the modeling itself, but the experiences. You know, traveling everywhere, meeting all kinds of people. That was actually very, very exciting.
Mm-hmm. Now we have something called the moment of truth in our show.
Every moment for me is the moment of truth.
But this one is a little bit intense because you cannot think. The first thought in your mind, you just have to speak it out. Some questions are crazy, some questions are insane, but you cannot skip. And
right.
to any questions that you think you don't want to answer, you cannot just say breast and skip.
Breast.
You cannot do that. All right. It's now time for the moment of truth here with Milind. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You seem to be very calm and relaxed.
Is that a question?
No, it's not. All right, we start off with you. Do you prefer stage or screen?
Screen. I've never done stage except for modeling.
Modeling, I
and
meant.
Stage is very frightening.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, but then if it's between fashion modeling and screen, obviously screen, because it has much more depth. There's so many more things to learn, more things to experience, more things to do.
But don't you think stage is you go and perform, you have no second chances? Isn't that more thrilling?
That's the scary part.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
What is one thing that you miss about being 25?
The stupidity.
The stupidity?
Because I just think that as you grow older, now of course people talk about physically you become weaker and so on, so that's not happened to me. I feel fitter than I was when I was 25, even though I was a national champion in swimming then. But I think mentally and emotionally, you become just so much more wiser, you know. So there's just so much more stable and settled that you really see so many things that you missed when you were 25. And you can enjoy them so much more. I think it's a fantastic space to be in.
All right. What's the strangest thing you have done to prepare for a role?
I don't really do much preparation. I go by what the director wants and the director's brief. I haven't actually done a role where I've had to put on a lot of weight or lose a lot of weight or
shave your head.
my head. In fact, I did a film last year called Bajirao Mastani. And in the film I'm bald. But now the makeup has improved to such an extent that I just had to wear a bald cap, and the makeup, it was fantastic. You cannot tell that I had hair like this, and I'm completely bald in the film. So I never had to do anything like that much. I had to go by the character. In fact, people ask me, they said, oh, you played a doctor, so did you study what doctors do? I said, all doctors do whatever they do. Who the doctor is important. The character and personality of that particular doctor. And I can't study anybody for that. I have to be that person. You know, so
All right, next question. First time you went topless for the camera, when was it? How was it?
I had done a lot of nude photography.
But the first time?
The first time I think there is a park in Delhi called the Lodi Garden. It's a very big park, it's a beautiful park. And a friend of mine, Bharat Sikka, great photographer, he said, and a designer, his name was Sunit Verma, and I don't know whose idea it was. We said, let's do a nude shoot in Lodi Garden.
In the park.
So I was naked, not even shoes, and I was walking around in the park, and I could hear people, but they couldn't see me because there are trees and bushes and so on. So I'm walking around in the park, and this guy was walking around taking pictures of me. That was my first shoot. It wasn't topless, it was everything less.
Everything
less. And it was great. I mean, the pictures were beautiful. It was like I'm a wild person, you know, in a very amazingly beautiful environment, just walking around without a care. It was lovely. Of course, the most, I would say, the picture that people noticed the most was the ad that I did, which was also naked, with my girlfriend at that time, Madhu Sapre, and a snake. And that was also wearing nothing except shoes.
Except shoes.
And that was a beautiful picture also.
I'm sure. Ever dated a fan?
Oh, yes.
Many times?
Yes. Not many times, but I have. Yeah, it's fun. It's nice. My last girlfriend, we were in a relationship for more than 3 years, is an actress. People know her. Her name is Sahana Goswami. Wonderful, wonderful actress. And she first wrote to me a fan letter when she was 14 or 15.
Oh my God.
Yes. So now she must be 29 or 28, you know. And so she's, I don't know how many years younger than me. But when she was 14, she wrote to me the first letter, and she was living at Calcutta at that time. When she came to Bombay to be an actress, I think at the age of 21 or 22, that's when we actually met, and I just got divorced, and we hit it off really well and started dating. So,
interesting. Yeah. What's the best thing about being one of the top models in India?
You get everything you want by clicking your fingers.
Oh, wow.
Is
that how it is?
Famous people, you know, people see you on TV, and they really, what happens is, or they see you on screen, and they feel that they know you. You know how it is. And so whatever you want, you just have to ask for it, and it's done. It's really, I don't deserve it at all, but it's a wonderful privilege.
Wow. What is the biggest illusion people have when they look at celebrities? What do you think
that
it is?
That they know them. That's what
that is the illusion.
About. Yeah.
All right. The type of girl you find extremely sexy?
Somebody who
you could either make or break a lot of hearts right now.
But most girls today are like that. They really have an idea of what they want to be and what they want to do. It's no longer about just getting married and sitting at home, which is also a wonderful thing. But there are a lot of girls who want to go out and change the world. And that is something that I love. Not only in girls, but in everybody. Everybody who wants to go out and do something. I love that quality.
One trait about men in general that you don't personally like?
In men?
In men, a trait. It's very common.
Procrastination. I wouldn't say it's in men.
Yeah, I
wouldn't say
it's
it's in
humans.
Men, it's in people. Yeah, it's terrible. It's the worst thing that anybody can do, and worse for them as well. But in men, I would say, globally, again, because we live in a patriarchal society, men are really pampered, you know, by the women in their lives, right from their mothers to everybody else. And they grow up with that sense of privilege, which sometimes can be very, very irritating, especially when you see the way they treat the women in their lives. It's not nice. And the women take it, which is worse. You know, it kind of feeds on each other. The men are taught to behave like that, the women are taught to accept it, and it kind of creates a vicious cycle.
It goes on like that, sad. But true. A piece of material you can never get enough of indulging.
Material?
A piece of material that you just indulge in so much. You just
like
splurge on it. Splurge on it.
Like something to eat?
Any kind of material that you literally splurge on and you indulge yourself to.
I like to eat cream. I love cream.
How do you keep that in balance? Because you're a fitness freak too. Do you burn that out?
Well, the thing is, see, burning is one thing. People talk a lot about calories, but it's not really about calories. It's about metabolism. So your body actually has a consciousness that is far superior to your thinking mind. You know? So when the body understands what it has to do with the food, which only happens through an active lifestyle, the moment you become sedentary, your body loses that ability to understand what to do with the food that you're eating. That's why diseases happen. So the moment you eat the food, if you have an active lifestyle, the body will say, okay, I need to get rid of this, excrete it, or I need to use it for your hair, or put something in the liver and put some in the stomach, create different cells and so on. So it's not fat that makes you fat. It's a sedentary lifestyle that makes you fat, or refined food that makes you fat. So refined sugar, refined flour, anything that is refined and packaged and processed will make you fat if you lead a sedentary lifestyle.
All right. A dream in Bollywood that didn't make it in reality?
I never had dreams in Bollywood or as an actor. I mean, I've worked, in fact, in many other countries. I've done Japanese, Swedish, German, French co-productions, Hindi, Marathi, Telugu, Tamil, you know, so many different languages, English. But again, I started acting quite by chance. I never saw myself as an actor or saw acting as something that I wanted to do. A friend of mine approached me with the first movie I signed, and you may have heard of it or seen it, was called Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar.
Yes.
A very famous movie. I think it was Amir's second film, Amir Khan. And the first shoot that I did, which was for Rohit Bal, was seen by Mansoor Khan, who was the director of Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak and Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar. And he called me and he said, you know, I want to play a role in my film. And I said, acting, you know, not really, but I've seen Qayamat Se Qayamat Tak, and I saw what he made out of a really hackneyed subject. He made a beautiful film. And I said, okay, if I'm going to do something in film, let me work with Mansoor Khan. So I signed the movie. I didn't complete it because we had differences. And then my role was finally done by Deepak Tijori. But I had an interesting experience. This was in 1990, so I just actually started modeling, 89 or 90. I went back to what I was doing. In 1995, a friend of mine, Devika Bhojwani, she said, you know, we're doing a television serial, India's first television serial in English, called A Mouthful of Sky. We know you're uncomfortable in Hindi and, you know, why don't you do this? It'll be easy. So I said, okay, she was a friend of mine. I said, fine. I did it and it was great fun. More than the acting itself, I enjoyed the production, you know, how the serial actually came about. So I started my own production company, which I still have today, and we do a lot of non-fiction programming for television. So that's how I started. I never thought that I wanted to be. So
it just kind
even
of
today,
laid out, yeah.
even since then, I do one project or two projects in a year. Even now, like I just had a Marathi film that was released a couple of months ago. I just finished shooting for a Hindi film called Chef with Saif Ali Khan. I know it's a little confusing. And last year I had this film called Bajirao Mastani. So I do films once in a while. And I like it that way because it's still exciting for me then. You know, I love acting, but I can't be a full-time actor. Yeah, I like to work on the ground, meet people, interact, have new experiences. And you can't do that if you're a full-time actor.
So you do it for the experience,
can't even go out
not
and
the
walk
fruit.
on the street.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they can't.
Can you walk on the street?
I can, yes, especially if I look like this. But the moment
I don't quite believe that.
Yeah, but it's much better now. It's better now that I'm not, say, at the level of, say, Shah Rukh Khan or Amir Khan or all of them. In fact, I started my career at the same time. But I'm at a level where I can still do whatever I want.
And still feel human.
Exactly. Absolutely. That I'm in touch with reality. Whereas if I became a full-time actor, I would not be.
A bitter experience that positively shaped you as a person.
A bitter experience. Well, my whole philosophy about experience is just that it's never a bad experience if you learn from it. So every experience has the potential to be positive. And if you talk about a bitter, something that really bad that happened to me was when I was not allowed to represent India. In fact, that was the only time I represented India in swimming was at the South Asian Federation Games in '84. After that, I was not allowed, even though I was still national champion till 1988. So that was something that was terrible as an experience for me because I had been preparing from the age of 9 to 23. And that was something I would have really loved to do, to maybe represent India at the Asian Games or at the Olympics and so on. But I think I was just able to move on from there very, very easily. I still feel it. That's probably the only thing that I say I wish this had happened. But I'm emotionally comfortable with it now.
Perfect. Your favorite place to hang out in Mumbai?
At home, if I'm in Bombay, because I'm mostly there 10 days a month, 20 days I'm traveling. I love to be at home with my cat and my mother. Or there is another place. I have a house in Lonavala. It's a hill station just outside Bombay. And I built it myself. And it's like a shack, but it overlooks this beautiful valley. And it's a great place to just be there on your own and feel amazing.
Two things you like about Nepal?
Oh, the mountains. I love the
You're
mountains.
in the perfect time. You can see
Yes,
mountains from Kathmandu Valley.
Yes. And the people. I really love the people. Not that I've met a lot of Nepali people in Nepal, but I've met a lot of Nepali people in India. And they're really wonderful. Wonderful people.
Perfect. Now, I will say few words which are in
What happened to your rapid fire thingy?
Well, it was a rapid fire, you know, but then I let you speak. Yes, you do talk too much.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think the meaning of these words are?
Yeah.
These are all Nepali words.
Oh.
You have to guess. Now, a little bit of exercise to the brain. All right? Uttaulo. What do you think that means? Uttaulo.
It means excited.
Oh, wow.
What does it mean?
It is.
You have to congratulate me for that. That's amazing.
I was in shock. All right.
In fact, there's a similar word in India. I forgot which language it's in. It's Uttavla.
Uttavla.
Is that
yes.
Hindi?
Uttavla, yes, I think
Uttavla,
yes.
I think it's
yeah,
in Hindi.
it is Hindi.
So
it is
similar,
Hindi.
yeah,
because we have a
similar.
lot of similarities.
Of course,
There are a lot of
yes,
words that we actually
absolutely.
exchange. All right. Thatta.
It's to make fun of somebody.
Not
Make a joke.
really. Yeah, actually, yes.
That's a Marathi word.
All right.
Okay.
There you go. Kurkucha.
Oops. It's not a kukri.
It's not.
Kurkucha. Kurkucha, is it something to eat?
All right, that's one guess. One guess. I give you one more guess.
Kurkucha. No, I can't. Something to eat.
No, it's your ankle. In
Oh,
Nepali. Something
that's
to eat.
tough. That's tough.
Yes.
You
All
could
right.
eat somebody's ankle if you were so inclined that way. Yeah.
Yes. Jhushli kira.
Oh, please. It's an insect? It's an insect.
It's an insect, but no.
Come on. It's
No,
Chusli
because
Kira, come on.
Come on, Kira is the
Kira,
word.
yeah,
But
Kira
then
is
the
word.
tricky part is Jusli. What do you think it is? Jusli.
Jusli. Jusli Kira. It's not a cockroach.
Come on, you cannot take that long.
Is it a
This
bed bug?
rapid fire. No, it's not a bed bug.
What is it?
It's a caterpillar.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Caterpillar.
Last word. Chipleti.
Chipleti. Something to eat?
No, it's nothing to eat.
Chipleti. Some animal.
Some animal. No, it's a slide.
A slide.
A slide is called
Oh,
chipleti.
nice.
All right. We still have a little more, but this is more of a brain exercise. So, Nikesh, if you could pass me those 2 tennis balls. Any idea what we're
But I
gonna
was good
do?
with the words, right?
Yeah, you got 3 out of 6 right. It's
50%.
very impressive. 50%. All right, Nikesh, you have to be a little quick. Run.
So you're going to give me 2 balls.
What do you think I'm going to make you do with this?
Balance them in some way.
Balance them.
Or yeah, what?
All right, these are yours.
Okay.
So, can you juggle them?
No.
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
you mean you want me to try?
Yeah, you can do that, right? Oh my God. Nikesh, can I have the ball back? You can just throw it
You
in.
want me to run around? Yeah.
I just hope this does not get dangerous and no one gets hurt.
So what do you want me to do now? While I'm juggling them?
Wait.
Yeah.
All right. So while you juggle, you cannot stop. I will have few lines of Nepali songs recited and you will have to say it along without stopping.
Okay.
We can try that?
Yeah, you ready?
You start.
Okay.
Resam
Is this juggling?
firiri.
Sorry,
Yes.
start again.
Resam firiri.
Resam firiri.
Resam firiri.
firiri.
Udera जाऊं कि डाँडामा पन्ज्या.
Resam
Resam firiri. Can't stop.
I'm not stopping.
निराजैले रिसाउने. निराजैले रिसाउने. You have to stop after I say it.
Oh, sorry.
All right. निराजैले रिसाउने.
Nirajai Siri Samri.
निराजैले रिसाउने.
Nirajai Samri.
निरा कहिले होला मायासँग माया मिलाउने.
Really? Yeah, Nira something in the Himalayas.
All right. उकालीमा.
Ukalima.
अघि अघि.
Ogi.
ओरालीमा पछि पछि.
Oralima Pochi Pochi.
यो केटा के भएको.
Yokitaki Baku.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad.
All right.
All right.
One last.
One last.
बिस्तारै बिस्तारै
Bistari.
डुब्दैछु तिम्रो.
Dubesu Timro.
Wait, you're not
Wait,
doing
you're
it
not doing
well.
it well.
We do it again.
We do it again.
बिस्तारै बिस्तारै डुब्दैछु तिम्रो
Bistari Timro.
मायाको सागरमा.
Maya Sagarna.
दुःख आँसु सबै बिर्सेर
Birsera.
राम्रो.
Ram.
You're doing a good job. All right, we're done.
All right, now you do it. I'll tell you a song in Marathi.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Say, come on.
You don't get to do this. You're on my show.
Your fans, they will love you.
We're running out of time and I have a few more questions.
quick.
All right.
Popta popta.
Popta popta.
Boltos god.
Boltos code.
Chorun khatos peri.
Chorun khatos paravala. Not bad. All right. Now,
Nice.
what do you think? 24th of February is Pinkathon in
That's right.
Kathmandu,
Yes,
and the
that's right.
targeted audience is 2,000 people, runners, expected.
Yes. Well, now they're going to promote the event and let everybody know that's happening, and hopefully we'll see that kind of response. But whatever the response is, I know we want to do it long term. It's not just a one-off thing that we'll do next year. We want to do it every year and maybe take it to even other cities in Nepal. That would be exciting. And as I said, when we started the Pinkathon in India, I said even if 50 women come, they're going to inspire a whole lot of other women to make that change in their lives. So yes, we're looking at about 1,000 or 2,000 women to participate for the first year, and I think it'll be very successful.
Any expectations apart from that? Of course, the event will be successful, is what I
Yes,
feel
yes.
by instinct, you know,
Yes.
because
Will you
it
be
has.
there?
Of course.
What distance will you run?
I was a runner back in school,
You
but
look like a runner.
I was a runner, but so I'll start off with maybe what are the
10
options?
10 kilometers?
10K? I can do 10K.
Easily. So
Easy.
it's basically 3 kilometers, which you will not do, 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, and 21 kilometers. And just so everybody should know, you can walk or run. The event is actually not for runners.
It's not
for
a
women
competition.
who don't exercise. It's women who don't run, who have never run. They have to come out and do it for the first time. So they shouldn't feel shy and say, oh, but I can't run, I'm not a runner. It's for you. So whether you walk or run or come and dance there and just enjoy the Zumba and just be with those thousands of women, that's what it's for.
Well, I think if you say that you will be running or walking in that
I'll be there to flag it off.
Only flag it off?
And to welcome them when
I think
they come
you
back.
should start off, flag it off and start off and everybody just run. I think that would be a wonderful way to do it.
The thing is, I don't run because in principle, it's an only women's run. So we do not have men participating at all. So we get a lot of requests, like men will say, can I run with my wife? Can I run with my daughter?
That is
We say,
exactly
"No."
what I want to get
You can
into.
stand
What
on
if
the-
men
you can
want to
stand
be a
along
part
the
of
route
it?
and you can cheer for them. But that is participation. Also, in the movement, we need people to encourage. And when we're talking about something that is changing, bringing change in society, it's not just about, so when you talk about health of society, it means the mindset. You know, so where men are concerned, they have to encourage women to participate. It's not enough for women to say, I want to go, but my husband won't allow me. The husband must allow, and he must encourage. That's even more important.
All right, it's time for us to wrap up. How fast, how sad, and how bizarre. But before we leave, one message that you would like to give to the women of Nepal and to the men of Nepal, if you could specify.
Well, a very simple thing is that take care of your health. The kind of lifestyle we lead today, the kind of food that we eat, the kind of stresses that we have, it's very easy to lose your health. But what I would say is just take that little bit of care to maintain your health and to be disease-free and to be happy for the rest of your lives.
Well, thank you so much, Milind, for joining us, for gracing us, for making me do my own game. And, you know, it didn't quite work out. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for this exciting episode of HUAWEI Namaste TV Show. If you've just tuned in, then too late. This show is almost over. But don't worry, the repeat is at 10:30 p.m. onwards, and the episode will soon be on YouTube. All you have to do is go to YouTube, search for Namaste TV Show, and subscribe to it. Thank you so much. Wish you have a great evening ahead, and mark your calendars. 24th February is the date for Pinkathon, Kathmandu. Good evening. Bye-bye.